Hello, everybody. I think I am live. If you could just let me know in the comments that you can hear me, then I will be great. I have two cameras on, so I have one muted and one not. And I just want to make sure that it is working. And I'll give you a few seconds to join in. I am Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty. Sorry, I didn't forget who I was. I was just making sure that this is working. I hope it is. So I'll ask you guys again to let me know when you come on. I don't think there's anybody on yet. So hopefully this is recording. And that's the one difference between I'm using this new system called StreamYard, which is really cool because I can toggle back and forth between my computer and then my phone that's right here. So I have that looking down on my steps. So just want to make sure it's going live because nobody's on. But that's okay. I'm going to carry on. And, oh, there we go. Okay. Hello, Carol. Oh, good. Okay. Will you let me know? Can you hear me? I just want to make sure I did it right. That would be really helpful. Just give you a second. Like I'm saying, it's a new system and I'm just still working out the kinks of it. And I want to make sure that you can hear me. I have some. Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I did it right. I'm going to write down what I did to make sure. I didn't want there to be an echo with my laptop and my phone. And so, perfect. Okay, so let me, I'll just jump right in. I'm going to switch cameras. This is what's so cool. Thanks, Laura. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is like the beauty of the StreamYard is I can toggle back and forth between me and my workspace here. Hello, Karen. Okay, perfect. Okay. So I'm going to show you these really cute, I thought for Valentine's Day, a lot of us do chocolate for Valentine's Day, and I wanted to show you how to wrap up some candy bars. You might know this already, but hopefully I can show you something a little bit different or a little twist on things. But before I get to that, as we're waiting for people to come on, which they are, hi Debbie, hi Kim, perfect. I wanted to show you two things I actually put in my newsletter today that went out about an hour ago. So for the last many years before COVID, I used to do an open house in either January or February. And usually it was kind of the launch of the Celebration sale and the new mini catalog. And then COVID happened, so obviously I couldn't have people over to my house. And then in the meantime, that's kind of when I got online. It was before I did these lives, but I was doing more things online, getting more people on my mailing list who live far away, because you guys even see one's from Florida, one's from Iowa, who are even watching these now. So anyways, I'm doing this instead of an open house. So I usually do I used to call a January special or a February special. And so it's just, the name's just kind of stuck with me because I haven't thought of anything else more clever. So I'm offering for February, if anyone orders a $100 order with me, I will send you, I'm going to make I was trying to make it kind of fun, the words, a tea treat fit for a queen. And so I will make them for you and I will mail them to you. But you need to use this host code. And this is actually already up on my website, and I'll be advertising this quite a lot, but I just wanted to point that out. And the other thing before we make these treats, as we're getting people on here, Stampin' Up! Just announced we have one more month of celebration, and so they added more things. So we still have, I don't think anything's sold out. We still have this catalog, right? That has, and I'm going to actually use a few things from it today. We have the owl set that is a huge hit. We have, I think I'm going to use a carrot set, some pretty papers, more papers. They had lots of papers, more papers, and more stamp sets. So this stuff is still available, but they also introduced more things that you can choose for free with $50 order, except for this last one. It's free with a $100 order. It's a stamp set and dies. So I just wanted to point that out to you as well. Okay, so let's get to these treats. So Valerie had sent me this as a cute little birthday Valentine's little treat. And you may have seen these before. I've actually never made one before. And so generally people use the Hershey's chocolate, and you put a ribbon around it and you make this cute little holder. She wrote her little message on the back, and it's just really sweet. So I wanted to show you other versions. So we're gonna make this one, like you can see the big difference. We're a little bit of a chocolate snob in my house. And so this is really good chocolate, and it's kind of appropriate for Valentine's Day because it's called Choco Love, and it's really cute. It has like a little you can see the ribbon. It looks like it's mailed with stamps and stuff. So kind of it speaks to me, right? And so I'm going to show you how to make that one. But if you don't do chocolate, I figured you can do gum. But not everyone does chocolate, and not everyone needs a little treat for Valentine's Day. So I'll make that one, and I have another alternative. And I have these two cute little, my husband loves Kit Kats, and so those little, I forget what they call them. I have them here. The fun size, snack size. These ones are snack size, a little bit bigger on fun size. And I thought these are cute for if you're making little treats for a classroom. You need to much, excuse me, you need to make a bunch of them. This is a much faster version. I'll show you. And then I have this version too that doesn't even use ribbon. It just uses paper. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to start with the big one. So I'm going to put these where they're not in the way. And I have a different flavor. So one is for my son. So I figured he likes the toffee and the sea salt and the almonds. That owl looks delicious. Yes, it's really good chocolate. They actually have them in most, excuse me, in most. I bought it at the Big Y on sale, but they have it at a lot of supermarkets. Whole Foods has them. But yeah, it's really good in this different kinds. We've had the orange chocolate version. We've had the raspberry. And so I was it was actually in there for quite a while, just deciding on a flavor. All right, so I have all my sizes here. So we're going to do the Choco Love one. So again, I am basing this off of the treat that was given to me. So I kind of copied it. She did cardstock as the base and then wrapped some pretty paper around it and then decorated it. So that's kind of what I did here. I used the sweet sorbet as the base, and I used but I'm going to actually use a different color on this one. So we'll start with that. Let's start with that one. All right, so for that, the base is 7.5 by 6. So we'll start right there. I need a bigger table. All right, then that's a score. I'll cut 6 by 7.5. And how I figured out these measurements is I'll show you. I just measured my candy bar. And so the designer series paper is 7.5 by 5. So this one has a direction to it. And so I want my 7.5 to go like the pattern this way. So you can see it. So 7.5 by 5. And you can alter these measurements quite a lot depending on how you want to decorate them. Put those over there. I think I'm done with the trimmer. Okay, so then we have these two pieces, right? I don't know if you can still see those or not. So how I decided what size I needed is I actually took a soft measuring tape and I wrapped it around. So my hard ruler wasn't going to be quite as accurate. So I figured this is easier. So that's where I got the 7.5. So whatever size candy bar you have, just wrap it around. Give yourself, at least a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or an inch seam so you can adhere it together. And then just, measure whatever length you need. So that's kind of how I figured that out. I am going to use tear and tape. I know I always use glue, and you could. You just have to hold it to close. But I figured for the video and for this, actually, the tear and tape works out great. So I'm just going to put that on one side. Actually, and before we do that, we have to put the ribbon around it. So I used, for this one that I have here, I used the new combination pack, and this is actually back ordered for another week or two. I think it's coming out mid-February. You can use whatever ribbon you have. But I thought for this one, since this is a big candy bar, I'm actually going to use a different red ribbon because I thought it needed more substance. Oh, I'm glad you like the idea. It's a perfect candy bar, I thought. Perfect for Valentine's Day. And like I said, there's different colors packaging. These are brown. It's kind of boring, which is why I picked the crumb cake. But they have all different colors, so you can kind of coordinate your colors with your candy bar, right? All right, so I'm just going to do this so you can see. I'm just going to guess how much I want on the top. That might be more than I need, but that's okay. So I'm just going to wrap it around this way. Oops. And then I'm going to take, this is in the annual catalog, and it's just fun. It's ruffled, what do they call it? Mini ruffled ribbon. It's real red, I think. Although it looks like sweets, yeah, but it looks just like sweet sorbet. So then I'm going to tie a knot. And then I'm going to kind of play with it a little bit because I want this part of the ribbon needs to be taut because that's how we're going to pull it out of the wrapper. So I'm just pulling that knot down. So now it's pretty tight. And you can either tie a knot, maybe that's what we'll do, or you can tie a bow. Maybe I'll tie a knot on this one. And I know I brought my ribbon scissors up here. There they are. And I will fiddle. Oh, actually, I guess I won't fiddle. I was going to do that later. I'll do it now because it was attached. Okay. So you want to make sure you do your ribbon first. So it still is a little wiggly, so you can always pull it down so it's a little bit more tighter. All right, so now we are going to come back. So again, this is my just my base, so whatever you want it to be. I'm going to fold it, put the candy bar upside down, and I'm not even scoring it. I'm just going to gently kind of rub it so it wraps around my candy bar. Just kind of work the fibers of the paper. And you could score it, but this is a pretty thick candy bar, so scoring would be a little difficult. So then I'm going to just take off the, hopefully, there we go, the tear and tape. And close it shut. So you could even do just a solid, this is probably, I probably should have left it a little looser, but that's all right. You could use a solid, just leave it like that, or we're going to put some pretty paper on it. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to, that would look pretty too. But nope, I'm going to keep the hearts. I'm going to put tear and tape on the side. And again, this is just a little bit, the width is the same, but it's just a little bit shorter. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it upside down. My pattern works that I don't have to pay too much attention. So I have it kind of centered in there. Making sure the paper kind of folds along. And then this is where I'm going to, I just want to have my edges straight. Like that. So really you could even slide this piece off because I only adhered it on the edge, but it stays on there pretty tight. And if you wanted to, like, I don't know if this is going to work. Yep, you can slide it a little bit, make it sure it's even. All right, so that's how I wrapped it. My hands are cold and they're not working so good. All right, so now what I want to do is I wanted to show you how I made this owl. This owl is the one with a party hat, but I didn't want it to have a party hat for Valentine's Day. So I'm just going to show you what I did there. I'll start with a new piece of paper. And I'm going to use my mini machine. The mini machine you can actually get for free this month with Celebration. Stampin' Up! Is offering a joining incentive. And so, oh, I should have printed that flyer too. I'll pull it out of the celebration because I forget the I don't want to give you inaccurate numbers. There we go. Okay, I have it ready, but let me show you this part first. Okay, so I'm going to use my Stampin' Write marker. I'm just going to use Early Espresso, and we did something similar to this not that long ago. I'm just going to color directly on my stamp, but I'm not coloring in that party hat. I'm just going to color in the owl, the outline of the owl, and you can use any color. But you want to make sure you use a water-based marker. So these Stampin' Writes work perfectly. You could use a Crayola marker, but do not use the blends markers and do not use a Sharpie because those are alcohol-based and they dry instantly and they just won't transfer the ink to the paper. So now I'm going to huff on it just in case any of that dried. Just talking. And there we go. So now we have the owl without the party hat. And so I could have, to take more time, I could have colored like the eyes a different color and then this outline a different color. You can really kind of play with it and do different colors with that technique. All right, so I'm just going to color in real quickly. I'm using the combo of the ivory and the bronze to color in my owl. And I'm just going to do a quick coloring job because my son's not going to care that much. He just wants the chocolate bar. All right, so that's the ivory. Oh, I want to show you a tip that I recently learned. You might know this, you might not. So you know how I always say you can look at the fine point or like the brush tip, and I like the brush tip, but you're always looking at it. So look at this. So this has a thicker line and this has a thinner line. So the thicker line goes with a brush tip and the thinner line goes with a fine tip. So each marker has that. Isn't that cool? I was so excited when I learned that little tip because I feel like I'm constantly looking at my markers to read or to look to see what they are. All right. So I like to turn my paper so I can see better. Again, I'm not doing a very good coloring job. He won't care. Forgot the little ear parts. All right, I like my owl to have blue eyes. You could actually do chocolate. So each person in my family has different colored eyes. I have hazel. My husband's are kind of gray. My sons are blue, and my daughters are, we always call them chocolate chip, just because she thought brown was so boring. So I always said she had chocolate chip eyes. All right, so there we go. So that's just a quick coloring. All right, so I want to show you, I'm going to use, this is from the Stylish Shapes dies, which I use all the time. They're actually back ordered for another week or two also, but you can use anything. So I'm going to use my mini machine. And I wrote about this in an email a couple weeks ago about some tips on the plates. This just fits so much better in the screen than on my big one. So I actually wrote on the back of my plates. So sometimes when you use this, the sandwich wasn't going through as smooth, and so there's some chatter on one of the Facebook pages for the Stampin' Up! Leaders, and so we kind of came up with different ways of doing it. So I want to use a die. So for the die cutting, I'm going to use this one. I wrote so I don't have to think. This +2 clear. So that's what I'm going to use. But on the front sides of them, they actually have directions. So you can try what they suggest, but just know that if it doesn't work, there are other combinations. So just kind of play with your plates. It always needs to be kind of the same thickness of a sandwich to run through. And so you might have to come up with that thickness a little bit differently because each one's a little different. All right, so this mini machine will do 3.5-inch wide, which does quite a lot of dies. I'd say it probably does about 75% dies. All right, so it should just go right through. Yeah, before I had to fiddle with the beveled edges, and so this I like it so much better now that I know that trick. So there's my owl. Get these out of the way. And isn't it so cute? It's like tiny, and then it just comes back to like, here's my hand. Here's how little. It's just so light. All right, so I'll just show you this before I continue. During celebration, so it was January and now in February, you can get either the white machine I just used or a boho blue machine, which is one of the new colors coming out this spring, for free. So it says, let's see, if you join Stampin' Up, you get for pay $129 instead of the $99 usual fee. You get the machine plus you choose $175 worth of products. Crazy. So that's option 1. Option 2 is the same, except you just choose the white machine rather than the blue machine. And option 3 is if you don't need the machine or you have one, you can still join for the regular $99 or and you choose $175 worth of products. So it's a crazy awesome deal. And I would love to chat with anybody who wants to talk about it. Let's see. Love this idea. Might make it great. Oh, good. And I use the gray in the works. Yeah, so there's different sandwiches that you can use. So you just have to kind of play with it a little bit. But it works so much better now that I know that. All right, so I'm just going to stamp Love You. And this also is a celebration set. Love You is right here. I haven't even used the carrots yet, but I like some of these words. So I've been using those, but I will use the carrots. I've seen some cute carrot cards. And I'm just going to put Love You on the bottom. And then we're going to put that. Oh, I have a couple hearts. Or did I lose them? I probably lost them because they're tiny. Let's see. Oh, here they are. So I cut out these tiny little hearts from the Give It a Whirl die set, which I know I showed you recently. I think both in a video and a live. And so there's several different hearts. Sure, that looks good. Okay. I tend to, when these things are little, I put the glue on the bigger paper and then put that little piece down on top. I'm looking at my coloring and it's pretty sloppy, but he is not going to care. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, rather than put dimensionals on here and stick it on here in case, I don't know, I do it crooked, I will put dimensionals on here. I just have mini ones up here like that. And then I'll stick my label on top. So again, here's the candy bar. That one I kind of did a little tight. And the other one is here. So same one, I just used different paper of the Country Floral Designs, I think it's called, in the new mini catalog. And you can use it for a lot more than just Valentine's Day. It's kind of fun paper. All right, so that is that one. So let me show you the next one. Is the gum. Here it is. So I know not everyone can have chocolate, or I actually have an uncle who doesn't even like chocolate. And so I was trying to look around to see what else could you kind of decorate in this manner. And so certainly a pack of gum works the same way. And so another pack of gum. And then I also thought if you wanted to just do it with a ribbon, you can do it with just a ribbon and the tag. You don't have to even do the wrapping of the paper. But I'll just do one more in case you're on late, and because this is the same way as I did it with the owl, but I've already cut everything. So for the gum, it is 6 3/4 by 3 for the base, and then just a little bit smaller, 6 3/4 by 2 3/4 for the designer paper. And how I did that, I showed you on the owl, is I just took a soft measuring tape and I just measured around to figure out what my thickness was. So I'm sure there are many other things to decorate. And there's all different size, like size candy bars. All right. Looking at the comments. Oh, I'm glad you like it. I think they're super cute too. All right. So again, we have to do the ribbon first. I always forget that. So this is, I don't know if you can see, it's like velvet. It's like just so fun to play with. It is in the mini catalog, and I think it goes with like the Delicate Desert Sweet. All right, so I'm just going to have a tail up there. I'm going to wrap it around. And then I have, this is ribbon I use all the time. It's the Pool Party Sheer, and it is in the annual catalog. But it kind of goes with everything because it's sheer. You could certainly color it too, but I don't even think you need to. So it just goes with everything. So I'm going to wrap that around and then just kind of tug down. So we need it kind of tight. So these would make, even for like for Christmas, I know it's kind of late now, but these would be great in a stocking or to leave on a colleague's desk. And oh, you know what would look cute? Like those Altoids mints. You could do that with this. There's lots of things you could do it this way. All right, so I just did a bow. Again, I'm just trying to pull that blue bow down to make it nice and tight against my velvet. There we go. So when you pull it out, lost my scissors. When you pull it out of the package, like it stays. All right. So again, I think that looks pretty even just like that. And then like that one, I just put a little tag on it. But we're going to wrap it. So I already put my tear and tape on the side. You probably could like glue those together, but it's just going to be it's going to be thick. So I think it works a little bit better just do them separately. So again, I don't even score it. I'm just rubbing it just to kind of wrap it around, soften that paper. And then I'm not going to like totally tight it, but just kind of, it's a little bit tight. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll just wrap it around. So once you have everything cut, they actually do come together pretty quickly. And this wraps around nice. And you don't even have to do the solid base. You could just do the designer paper. And I'm going to do that on the Kit Kat. I just wanted to show you how quick they come together. So that pulls out. I just love this pattern paper. And it's not even like, it's Valentine's, but it does, you know, it can be anything. So this is that fine shimmer paper. It came in a 3-pack with a gold, I think it was soft succulent and purple freesia. It's really pretty. And it's really thick. Just know that. And I took out a set to stamp. I was going to do that one on the Kit Kats. Oh, I was going to do thanks. Just in case, again, you don't necessarily need these to be Valentine's. So this is from that same carrot set. And the owl, the oval, it should just fit, is from that mini envelope die set. There we go. And it has some fun labels to it. So I'm just going to stick that on. This one I'll just glue directly on. And then my dimensionals, to order some big ones. Like I said, I just have mini ones up here. I need to order some big ones. And that goes on top like that. Okay, so that one I did friend, and that one I did thanks. I just think they look really cute for the gum. A little something different. All right, and the last one I'm going to show you is the Kit Kat. Where did it go? They're little. They're over here. All right, let me just make sure. Let's see. Comments. Oh yeah, I think it's a great gift or great treat for your grandkids. I think of another alternative for the candy bar, the gum. Yes, because I know not everyone can even have chocolate. And so I think I just thought of that now, that Altoids mints, or there's all different mints, that would work really nice besides the gum too. So the Kit Kat, I thought these, sometimes you make little Valentine treats for a classroom or something. And so these come together really fast. So this one actually I did not cut. So the Kit Kat is 4 by 2.5. So I want the stripes to go that way. I think that's already 4. Yeah. By 2.5. And like I said, my husband loves these, so I got several. And then this one I did the ribbon, and this one I did the paper. So actually, let me take out 2, and I can show you both kind of at the same time. The ribbon is just the same that I have been doing. This is the pool party. It's in the mini, that purple catalog. So for this one, because I don't have the cardstock underneath it, you just want to make sure that your wrappers are kind of down, so that they're kind of out of the way for when you slide them. And this one I'm just going to do an easy knot. I'm trying to think what else we could wrap. I bet you guys could think of stuff, so we can share, give more ideas. All right, let's do a double knot just to be sure. And then, so if you're doing these for a classroom and you didn't want to use up all that like really nice ribbon, you can just take paper. And so I just took, this is a half strip of paper, strip of paper, which is the same width as my ribbon. And I just wrapped it around just like I did with a ribbon. I am just going to trim it down a little bit. And so you could either tape it closed, or Stampin' Up! Had this stapler many years ago. I hope they bring it back because I love it. And so you could just staple it, and then it fits. So if you didn't want to use the ribbon, you can just use paper. And so then this just wraps around like super fast. Buy the return tape. It's a great way. I mean, this is just a tiny piece of paper of using up old. I know I still have some of the Valentine paper from last year. It'd be a good way of using it up. But this is quick because you're not even using the cardstock. I just want my stripes to line up. There we go. So that's lickety split. And then I had a heart here. I could even stamp. So this celebration set has lots of great sentiments, and it has this one, "You're easy to love." Because I did not get any Valentine specific stamp sets, but when I looked around, I had plenty of nice sayings. Here, I'll do it in red. Pack of small M&Ms. Yes. The heart conversation. Oh my goodness. I don't even know why I didn't think of those conversation hearts. Yes. What else? Oh yeah, Ghirardelli chocolates are always yummy. And yeah, so there's tons of ideas. And it's funny, I know this wrapping of the candy bus has been around for, I've seen it around. I've just never made one. I never really took the time to figure it out. And it was so easy, right? And so, all right, so let me bring all these back. All right, so those are 2 Kit Kats. Here are 3 different gums. And then these are those 2 of those really big, those really thick and big candy bars. Those are on screen, yep. And my original one, how I got the idea, this was actually given to me as a gift. So thank you, Valerie, for the not only for the chocolate, but for the idea of showing everybody. And she used some fun polka dot ribbon. And so I think that's all of them. Yeah. So not hard at all. And they're fun. You can definitely customize them to whatever paper you have, or certainly if you wanted to order paper, you can, or whatever ribbons you have. And all right. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. Excellent. Okay, so just as a reminder, if you're not on my mailing list, I sent this out. There are two cool things going on for February. One is they added on more Celebration products. So you can get more things for free with the increments of $50 orders. But to add on to that, I am doing what I call my February special. It's an ordering incentive. So if you order $100 or more with me using this host code, I will send you, I can't wait to make them and show you guys. I'll send you a nice tea treat in the mail. Karen says, we need those big candy bars in Iowa. Oh, you don't have them. I'm so sorry. You know what? There's another really, I love chocolate. There's another really good candy bar, and it's actually bigger than this. It's a little thicker too. It's called Tony's. I got one for the family to share because it was so big over Christmas, and it was delicious. I know Market Basket has them, and they had them for the least amount of money. I'm trying to think. Whole Foods had them, but Trader Joe's, I shop there a lot too. They have other different types of like different shaped candy bars. So that's why I wanted to show you how to customize them, not just for the Hershey candy bar, but for really any candy bar. So really the trick is just take your measuring tape and measure the circumference of the candy bar. And that's all you need to know. So I'm glad you like them, and I wish, I hope you can find some good chocolate, Karen. Thank you very much for everyone for watching. I will have something new to share next week. I don't know what we're going to do next week yet, but it probably won't be a Valentine's, even though it's still before Valentine's, but we'll think of something. I always love ideas, so go ahead. Oh, actually, hold on, I forgot I can share me. Go ahead and send your ideas to me. I always need ideas of what to show, what to teach. So thank you very much for watching. If you're not on my mailing list, you can do that at mailsomethingpretty.com. And there's a little sidebar on the side of that website, and you can just fill in your name and your email address, and I'll send you a tutorial too as a thank you. All right, have a wonderful day. Have a great rest of the week and weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.